this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Wednesday the 2nd of June. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar, it's bearish start to the morning. Going to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 36,740 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 37,821. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 37,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 37,888 to cap any upside. In the event of a broad-based crypto rebound from yesterday's losses, could see Bitcoin target 40,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 38,969. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 35,592 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 35,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 34,511. Looking at the MACDs, got a bullish cross at the turn of the day, coming off the back of yesterday's partial recovery. On the EMAs, we're going to see a possible bullish cross. I need to keep an eye on that through the early part of the day. So key through the early morning, we've moved back through the pivot at 36,740 and move back through to 37,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Going across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 2637 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 2746. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from the 38.2% fib at 2740. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that 38.2% fib and first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum target 3,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2857. Failure to move back through the pivot brings the first major support level at 2525 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 2400 levels. Second major support level at 2417 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day. We could see a possible bullish cross. Keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, 50s closing in on the 200 and pulling away from the 100. So we could be looking at a bullish cross 50 through the 200 that would support a breakout. So key would be to move back through the pivot at 2637 and back through to 2700 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Across to Litecoin against US dollar, relatively bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 184 to target the first major resistance level, 192. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 190s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 200 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Litecoin target 210s before any pullback. Second major resistance level says 201. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 175 and the 62% fib at 174 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 170. Second major support level sits at 167. Looking at the MACDs, got a bullish cross at the turn of the day, coming off the back of yesterday's late partial recovery. So I need to keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, 50s moved away marginally from the 100, closing in on the 200. So need to keep an eye on that as well. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 184 and back through to 190s to bring resistance levels into play. Better to do that and support levels will come into play. Looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 1.0278 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.0824. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from 1.05 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 1.1 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ripple's XRP target 1.2s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.1541. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.9561 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.90 levels. Second major support level at 0.9015 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, got a widening of the bearish histogram at the turn of the day, so I need to keep an eye on that. That's supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, the 100 has narrowed in on the 200 and the 50 is holding its ground. So that's suggesting a possible further upside ahead. So key through the early morning, move through the pivot at 1.0278, break back through to 1.05 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play.